Hello Trophy Hunters, Mode 47 here, I hope you've all been well. It's time for part 5 of my ultra rare platinum series, and we're on to platinums 15 through to 11. We're now so close to the top 10. Whilst making this, I was worried I'd be earning new platinums that might shoehorn themselves into my list, and by the end of it, it might all be different and changing. But so far, the order has completely remained the same. None of my newest platinums have quite snuck into the list. This just goes to show that for the most part, ultra rare platinums are just that. Hard to obtain, time consuming, and sometimes just too difficult. Let's take a look at the first game of the video. Now I've talked about this Battle Royale recently in my end of year video, where I stated it as one of my least favourite platinums of the year. In hindsight, it was really only one trophy and the state of the game that led to that classification. Lobbies are near empty and bots plague the actual games, although this did make it easier to get the miscellaneous trophies, namely the weapon and ability kills. However, it made for gameplay that just wasn't very engaging, and worse yet was the reach player level 50 trophy, where the same amount of XP is awarded regardless of placement or performance within the match. Winning the Battle Royale awards the same amount of XP than, say, leaving instantly. Unfortunately, that is the most efficient progress towards the trophy. This was the last trophy I needed for the platinum, and it doesn't make for a very exciting clip. I had a much better time with Bloodhunt when it first launched and we were playing with my friends. There's a lot to like about the game. The visuals are beautiful, the classes are interesting and varied, I love the customization, the movement, traversal and the gunplay are all smooth, effective and feels punchy. It's a shame then that the player base has dwindled and the player level trophy is how it is. The platinum is still obtainable even if you started today, although I've seen a couple forum posts that suggest server shutdown might be likely. The platinum rarity will only go up, so start and play at your own risk. This is 2 free-to-play games in a row now, and also the first platinum on my list to be below 3% rarity. Brawlhalla is a 2D platform fighter, and at first glance a blatant Smash Bros clone. The controls are simple and feature one-button special moves with directional inputs, making it very easy to pick up but hard to master. It's carved its own identity with its unique visuals, characters, movesets and weapons. But that's not to say the characters are crazy unique, because there's definitely some inspiration taken from a few games and movies when it comes to their designs. The gameplay then contains staples of the fighting game genre: positioning, blocking, recovery, dodging, all the different movesets to learn, along with the weapon selection and the arena throwables. All these have a massive impact on the outcome of the match, especially when played competitively in the multiple ranked modes. I really enjoyed the 2v2 rank queues, and although you match up with randoms, you need to bring along a friend. 1v1 exists and is still a lot of fun, but it's slightly more stressful than the 2v2. It is very easy to enjoy casually, however, with loads of cool characters to choose from and a wide selection of game modes. There's always a seasonal event or a wacky collaboration on the horizon, and it's very well supported. I just checked the store and there's Tekken of all things, I don't remember them adding that. You also find wrestling, Turtles, Street Fighter, SpongeBob, it really is all sorts here. Trophy wise, it's a less of a difficult platinum and more of a super grindy one. I personally didn't mind this as I was just enjoying playing the game, but I do acknowledge that earning gold and leveling is very slow for their respective trophies. Between reaching account level 40, earning 50,000 gold and reaching level 10 with 10 different heroes, This one will keep you busy for a while. I've played for over 100 hours and I'm still only at 78% total due to a couple of added DLC trophy updates, both of which were completely free and added new weapon types. I highly recommend the game if you enjoy fighters, and even if you don't, to be honest, but keep in mind its ultra rarity is due to how long it takes to level and earn gold. Don't let the cutesy pixel graphics fool you. This is a very difficult roguelike platformer, worthy of its ultra rare status. It has tight responsive controls, an ever-changing environment and a huge variety of enemies and bosses, along with some very challenging trophies. Not always lost, however. The permanent upgrades you can buy help out a lot as you die and return to your base. So even death is progression, as long as you're bringing home enough gold to upgrade things as you go. Some classes are way better than others, and you get to choose between a couple of successors and classes every time you die. So it always encourages experimentation, and rarely are you the same class twice in a row. The hardest trophy is without a doubt this one, which I will not be trying to pronounce. In fact, every trophy I think I would have problems pronouncing. Anyway. This one requires you to complete the game with less than 15 deaths and without using the architect. He's an NPC who locks the castle in place, preventing the layout from changing on repeated visits, and therefore making the game easier. This eliminates the roguelike element and becomes more like beating a traditional level that you memorize, great for your normal playthrough and to earn the trophies. So, with that disabled, along with the 15 death limit, makes this particular trophy extremely tough. A death limit is not only difficult because dying comes so easily, it will also actually bottleneck the amount of gold you can bring home, and so limits how much new equipment you can buy and what upgrades you can purchase. It's quite daunting, but very possible with the right planning and mindset. Boss and enemy knowledge go a long way, and having a favourite class you're good with also helps. Death can come quick and without warning, but also slowly, as each hit whittles down your health with limited ways to replenish it. There's nothing worse than facing a boss with a quarter of your health left. There's many more in-depth tips and methods to overcome this trophy, but the main advice is to know what the enemy is doing and to recognize the trap rooms and what might be worth pursuing and what might not be, and especially to take your time. There's no time limit against you. I was actually surprised this wasn't a bit higher in my list of 34 ultra rares because it's one I remember being very difficult. Of course, there's another Battlefield game in this list. This is the third one that is in my ultra rares. I wonder what makes these extremely popular multiplayer games ultra rare. Well, that's just part of the puzzle. A huge player base, a single player no one wants to play, and that this is on the PS3, making it the oldest on my list. That's pretty much a recipe for an ultra rare platinum. What really makes this Battlefield a bit rarer than the others, however, are the cooperative trophies, I think, which in all honesty I had forgotten about before looking into it again. This is the only Battlefield with dedicated 2-player co-op, with some of the missions needing some major communication. Now, I was lucky enough to have a good friend and co-op partner 10 years ago. Keep in mind there was no party chat on PS3. We would try using our phones or perhaps the Vita party chat, but really it was relying on each other in-game that got us the trophies. This dude still watches my back in Valorant even now. I love that my first trophy in this game was to get an enemy dog tag, which is basically sneaking up on a sniper and stabbing him in the back. Classic Battlefield there. Reaching level 45 in multiplayer takes time, but it's one you don't really worry about because the online was so fun. So the majority of the trophies are single player completion stuff, miscellaneous during those levels, and the co-op I mentioned. The platinum is still obtainable, but I'm guessing the servers could be closed at any time. So again, start at your own risk. We're going to time travel to 2011 now, where PlayStation got hacked and down was a good few days, and my god, I just looked it up, 23 days PSN was down for. That's pretty wild. Well, Sony ended up offering everyone a couple of games for compensation. Dead Nation was one of them, which was developed by Housemarque, who you may know from the PS5 for their pretty good game Returnal. And before that, Resogun, which is still one of my favourite PS4 games. This was the first game of theirs I played and it really left a good impression. It's a very tight, responsive twin-stick shooter where you get to fight thousands of zombies in an atmospheric environment. The gameplay is frantic and difficult. It's got a very old school arcade feeling and it's extremely fun. There's a staggering 11 ultra rare trophies to earn in this game, which include co-op collectibles, killing a very specific 53,597 zombies, completing the game on Morbid, which is a really cool name for difficulty, and rarest of all, reaching level 10 in Endless mode. Because this was given away, I think the rarity is skewed, just like a PlayStation Plus game would be. The more people play a game, the more people that don't earn trophies. That's a sad truth, but a truth nonetheless. Still, I think it's worthy of its ultra-rare status. You'll need quick reflexes and fast decision-making to survive the higher difficulties, and plenty of patience to find all of those collectibles. In fact, King of Looters nearly put me off getting the platinum in the first place, which asks you for the following. Collect all the loot in every mission. This requires you to not only find all the loot chests, but also open up every car boot in the game. And I can tell you there's a lot of cars in this game. And not only that, each car can be blown up to distract and damage zombies, so you'll really need to be careful as you're navigating the levels during the more than frantic battle encounters. It's a great game, very tense at times, and it's still very playable even today, with a classic trophy list that's satisfying to earn. So don't forget to charge your rifle shots and throw your molotovs. You'll have a cool ultra rare platinum in no time. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this video. So next up will be the start of the top 10, running through platinums 10 to 6. I hope you enjoyed this one. The games are getting a bit more niche as we go on, and that's always nice to see. They'll only be getting rarer as we go. So please subscribe if you fancy more and that you enjoyed. Take care regardless, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.